on, so I didn't know if we could get a copy.
You're now on camera. You're being recorded.
All right, thank you. I'm really excited about this idea too. I've been thinking about it a lot for like the past 6 months, so I'm glad that you went with it and ran.
Absolutely.
All right, I will see you guys in 30.
Here comes the flood.
Good to see you guys.
Good to be
Nice to see you
seen.
too.
I was out in Park City, Brad, doing a little skiing a few weeks ago.
You didn't call me.
I'll call you next time. My son's out there now. We take turns leaving.
Nice.
Good morning, everyone. For those of you who have joined on late, just rename yourself by putting the city that you serve right next to your name. And we'll start shortly. Mr. Brand Seaman is preparing an amazing show for all of us today.
I'll start in 3 to 5 minutes. We'll let everybody hop on the call.
So unlike realtors to be late.
I didn't bring food. If there was food, everyone would be timely.
Or wine.
Yeah, I was
Or
going to
wine.
say, or alcohol.
Yeah.
Sangria. I'll take a sangria.
Hi, everybody from Miami, Florida.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Hi,
As you're hopping on the call, just make sure you rename yourself so we know where you're from. In the top right corner of your video, you should be able to put your city and state and then leave your name in there. I'd love to know where you're from. I'm going to give everybody the opportunity now. I think this is going to be a big enough room where we are not going to announce ourselves in the main portion of the meeting. So if you'd like to post your information in the chat box, let's do that right now. Put all your information in there, where you service, and we will download the chat after the meeting and send it out to everyone. Is that fair? I know a lot of you have been asking me for the information of all the other people in the room. Unfortunately, Zoom does not have a great way to show who attended. So I'll need you to just pop it in the chat. And then at the very end, we'll send that out to everybody so you can review it and get connected with anyone that you may have heard something great from, or maybe you want to do a one-to-one with after the meeting.
So Brad, I have a quick question. This is the first time that I've attended one of these. What is the format like?
I have no idea. We're going to wing it. No, the goal here is we're going to run it kind of like a BNI meeting with breakout rooms. So the first part of it, you'll probably recognize as something familiar to you. And then I'm going to do a little education moment for you on my journey and ideas about building your agent-to-agent network. And then we'll go into some breakout rooms, smaller rooms, so you can get to know some of the members a little bit better and hopefully come away with passing some referrals by the end of it.
Oh my goodness, why is that happening?
Brad, I'm sorry, I missed. I came in a little bit late. How do you get your location by your name?
3 dots in the top right corner, click rename, and then put whatever you'd like in your in the information.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing it.
It's in your thumbnail, when you hover over your video, your face, upper right.
Oh, okay, got it. Thank you.
Just a suggestion, Brad, but if people could put in their chapter name too in their comments, that way you can do cross-chapter referrals.
Love it.
Takes
Love
it.
it. So
Forgot
put it in
that.
the chat box.
Rats.
Got a suggestion to put in your chapter name. I know that app, you can search people individually by their name, but any information you can provide so that people can find you, that'd be great.
Believe it or not, there's more than one of you guys in some of these chapters. So like a Don Wilson, there may be more than one Don Wilson out there. Go figure. I know, Don, the nerve.
There really isn't. There's only one Don Wilson.
That's the right answer. I like it.
I promise you, I'm the only Tookie out there.
Oh, I know this. My
Thank you.
veterinarian is named James Sharp, and he's also in Plano, Texas. Go figure.
I put this in the chat, but I'm looking to refer to somebody who works in the Shenandoah near Howellsville, Virginia. If any of you work out there, I have somebody who's ready to buy either land or a cabin, and they've potentially identified what they want.
All right. I'm going to get started here in just a minute. We will, thank you for sharing that. We will have an opportunity at the end of our meeting to share any referrals, agent to agent, and give some testimonials, etc. So hang tight, and we'll do that towards the end of our meeting as you will in your typical BNI format.
Brad, it's
Yes.
Berta in Orange County. Good to see you again.
Hi.
We did, for our local Realtor Mastermind, I created a Google Doc and just had everybody, while we were in the Zoom, pop it in there. Do you already have plans to retype this, or do you want me to create something and everybody can just jump in?
Well, I am definitely not going to retype it.
You can copy and paste.
Hey guys, quick question. I'm not an agent. I'm a cash buyer and a developer. Am I okay to be in this group?
I'm not going to kick you out. It's intended for agent to agent referrals across the country. So maybe you can make some connections. The goal is to connect agents from across the country and refer business across state and city lines.
Awesome. And you know, and I perfect. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Oscar, are you in Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Oscar, are you in Massachusetts? Are you in a chapter?
We lost him.
Yeah, BNI in Marshfield.
Okay, that's okay. Good to know, because I do chapter placement for CORE, and I've had some people who were on the fence about being investors in the chapter. So I might hook up with you to see if you can do a testimonial.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Anything I can do to help, guys. And I
All
love
right,
working with
everybody, I'm
agents,
gonna
by
get
the
started.
way.
Is that okay with you?
Yep.
Let's do it.
All right. So for those of you that don't know me yet, my name is Brad Seaman. I'm a BNI agent of about 5 years now out of sunny San Diego. I've been doing this for a while, putting together these masterminds, also in-person events across the country, typically piggybacked on some sort of conference traveling, and just putting together agents to network and mastermind with things in common. So the goal for me was to really build my own tribe of people that were like-minded and had something in common with me, and that happens to be BNI and its philosophies. So that's who I am. Today, the idea is we're going to put together a little education moment for you to learn about my journey, as well as some ideas for you to build your own business within BNI Agent to Agent Referral Network. Make sure you're a part of our online groups, and then do some breakout sessions so you can get to know people a little bit better from across the country and hopefully make some connections and pass some business. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right, cool. So I'm your honorary chapter president today. So thank you so much for giving me that honor. Today we're going to go through and, we're going to start out with, typically in these meetings, I would have everyone announce themselves, but the size of our meeting today, we're going to do that in our breakout sessions. So hold tight. It's going to shift our format a little bit for this session. In your smaller breakout sessions, you'll get that opportunity to introduce yourself. If you're just hopping on, please put all your information in the chat and rename yourself so that you have your location and your name in the actual subject line on your video. There's 3 dots in the top right corner where you can do that. And someone can help you in the chat if you can't figure that out. But make sure you send all your information over. We're going to download the chat. And for those of you that are on the call today, we're going to send it out so you can get connected with the other agents from across the country. All right, everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the philosophy of what's the philosophy of BNI?
Givers
Givers
gain.
gain.
Gain. If I give business to members of my chapter or agents across the country, they will want to give business to me. All right, so I wanted to start today by just sharing my journey a little bit with you in building this network. So you're a part of the BNI Real Estate Agent Referral Network. There is an online Facebook group. So if you're not a part of that, there was a link in your invite that's come over the past couple of days. Make sure you join the Facebook group. It's BNI Referral Network. So make sure that you get connected there so you can pass referrals, or if you want to take on incoming referrals, remember that it is reserved for only outbound referrals, no inbound promotion. We don't want you to post where you're from and how you can do business. We want you to make sure that you're sending outbound referrals and keeping everyone's attention for that kind of business. Is anyone here a member of a group that just posts listings constantly? Or were you at the time? Anything that is just constantly posting listings online, like Facebook groups, I unsubscribe. We're going to talk a little bit about that in content. So we want to keep the integrity of this group for BNI ideas, ways to do your 10-minute presentations, great asks, and then outbound referrals. So if you're in the Facebook group, please adhere to those rules, and we look forward to networking with you in there. The next thing is, let me share my journey. I started out in BNI. I did everything I could not to join the chapter, and finally I had to submit and join a BNI chapter. Someone twisted my arm, and it really changed the way that I look at business, what I do, how I do it, and also allowed me to come up with this idea to really work within a network of people that are like-minded, people that want to refer business and send business across the country. And so I got really frustrated. Is anyone else on the Facebook groups that pass referrals across the country, whether it's Keller Williams or Compass or whatever, right? And there's hundreds of suggestions for agents other than you. Or maybe you're the agent that everyone suggests, right? So I started out by getting really frustrated in my market where there was another agent getting recommended that did very little business. And I'm like, hey, my resume is pretty good. Why don't you even give me a call back or give me an opportunity to engage in that referral? So my frustration on this journey started about 4.5 years ago. And I said, well, instead of trying to beat that agent in these larger groups, I really want to build a core group of people that know me, trust me, and like me, that I can send referrals to and have confidence, and they will want to send referrals to me. Okay, so I decided to go out there and build this network of like-minded agents across the country so that we can do this, right? So I can get to know you personally. I see so many familiar faces on this call, and I also see so many faces that are brand new, which is wonderful, just like a BNI chapter, right? So in this journey, I got out there and I said, how am I going to build this database of people, and how am I going to effectively, number one, identify who it's going to be, number two, network with it, right? And number three, create content that people aren't going to unsubscribe from or not like. Is that fair? Does that sound familiar to anybody in a different space in their business?
Mm-hmm.
Right? How do we
Sounds like a good idea.
We want to find out people that are like-minded to do business with. We want to network with them or touch them constantly, whether on the phone or in person, and then also create content that they're not going to unsubscribe from. So that was the goal in starting this. And so what I started doing was I started calling agents across the country. And by the way, if any of you want to pick up the phone and call another agent in BNI, it is the easiest phone call you will ever make. If I called you today and picked up the phone and say, hey, my name is Brad Seaman, I'm a BNI member in San Diego, how many of you would hang up on me? Zero, probably, maybe one or two of you, I don't know. But it's a very friendly conversation, and it always leads with, how are you doing in your chapter? What kind of ideas do you have? It's such a great call that's a great way to get started. And that's how we got started. I just started picking up the phone. I called people like Jose Fernandez that's here on the call. And many of you at some point during this journey has gotten a call from me or someone on my team to get connected in regards to BNI. Okay. So I decided to going down this path of finding how many strategic people I can bring into my world and make sure that I'm engaged with them. The next step got into in-person events. So I decided, okay, well, I'm traveling across the country to go to things like Keller Williams Family Reunion or other coaching events. Why don't I just put together an event that are BNI members at those different larger events? And the first one was actually, there's probably a few on the call that were at one of the first events. It was a little awkward. It was strange meeting and not having our own designated space. Ultimately, we got to 1,500 people attending these meetings, and it was an incredible opportunity to meet people face-to-face finally. Not just on the phone or not just in an online setting. We finally got to meet face-to-face. So we went from there to entering into this pandemic, and look where we are. Now we're doing Zoom meetings on a regular basis and connecting people across the country, right? So it's been an evolution over the years of doing this. It's increased in size and database, but the core people that keep coming back, it's kind of like your BNI local chapter, right? We have a core group and then people start showing up, new members, visitors. We have people that exit and no longer attend, and that's all very healthy for a networking opportunity online. So that's a little bit about my story and where we got to today. So today, the content I wanted to bring to you is how do we translate not only my journey, but also what you're currently doing in business into building an agent-to-agent referral network, a database that you can effectively communicate with and network with. Now, by a show of hands, and you can press the little button or just raise your hand, how many of you already have an agent-to-agent network that you effectively communicate and follow up with? Okay, the screen I'm looking at is probably 30% of you. Who hasn't started that but would like to? All right, cool. So I'm going to give you some pointers for how to get started, but I'm also going to give you some veteran tips for some of you that already have a database and would like to communicate with it effectively. So for all you starting out, and for those of you that may want to add a new arm to this, where do you find the agents that you add to your agent-to-agent network? Anyone have any ideas? Who would like to share?
Past networking events like NAR and state and local from when you go and visit other parts of the country and make connections.
Awesome. So common associations or events, right? Things that you
family reunion, educational
person at.
Education. Like I usually try to go out of town to get my education for different things, because then that's another group of folks that I can network with.
So your CRS, your annual education taken a different city. For those of you that are also Keller Williams, I've taken Bold in other cities and gone out to other areas, which is a great way to build in 100 people that are from a different market that now know you for your own local market.
Also,
I reach out to other BNI members. Especially local, which are 2 hours away from me. And then I do a lot of one-to-ones with those members. And I think that's really helpful.
Hi, Prana.
I was getting to the suggested answer, which is BNI. So you're all here. Here's an opportunity for us to get acquainted a little bit more, whether it's locally around you within 2 hours or it's across the country to a major feeder market to your city, right? That's a great one. What about, nobody's mentioned your brand yet. If you're a part of a larger brokerage, are you networking with other agents that are Keller Williams or Compass or Berkshire Hathaway?
Yeah, but I can actually tell you that if you don't have a forum as this, Brad, and I really appreciate you actually doing it, because I'm shocked with Remax how many times I call. I have to call sometimes 4 different people to get a response. Like I have a $500,000 referral right now in St. Louis. I can't find someone. So I thank you for doing this, because the people that we have here who spend the time is the people I like to basically know.
Well, there you go. So if you're in St. Louis on the call, there's probably someone in here. There's a referral.
Hey, I'm a Remax agent, and if you call me, I will absolutely return your call immediately.
There you go. So you guys get connected. You
Chat
can
box.
share your information in the chat for that referral. I love seeing this stuff happen. And I love that you have this network here, this outlet for you to find referrals. And whether it's in the live session or on the Facebook group, a great way to get connected with other agents across the country, right? So we've got these different sources, right? So whether it's your brand, whether it's BNI, however you're going out and finding more of those agents, we've got to get them into the database, and we've got to make sure that we're following up consistently in some way, shape, or form, right? So whether you meet them via phone or email first or online, and then you meet them in person or vice versa, we want to make sure that you get them into your database, and then you have a method of how you will network with them moving forward. So my idea was, well, let's put these together, right? Let's start inviting people into a forum like this where we can get into smaller groups and get to know each other. And obviously I'm here because I want to give to you, but you know, San Diego's in my background so that you see me as leading the room as someone in San Diego for you, right? So if you ever have that opportunity, that's what I'd love. And that's why I've done this and trying to connect all these people to become a staple within that network, right? So in-person events, I'm so excited that we're going to have some more in-person events before too long. So stay tuned as things start to open up and conferences start to happen. We will start organizing and setting dates for in-person breakfast at national conferences. And I'll travel around, go to different things, and get connected with those as it's appropriate for us to meet in person. Kat, go ahead.
You know, I have in the past been so myopic with who I refer to because I'm a KW agent, and those are the only people that I knew from you know, family reunion and from mega camp. But this, you know, doesn't mean that KW is the best or that agent's the best. So I'm super excited that I'm going to be networking with a lot of different agents from different realties, because I think that, you know, we can all learn something from one another. So, you know, I've always thought, oh, I'm just going to go to KW agent, but now I can get thank you for closed business by referring.
You got it. You got it. It's a win-win, right? And that's the point here, right? That's the bottom line is these are a great group of people. It doesn't matter what brand you're from or why you align with them. We all have the BNI Foundation in common. So, so number one, stay tuned for those in-person events. If you're looking to build something bigger, maybe you already have a database. I know James Sharp's on the call. He's definitely someone that inspired me to get started in this, where he's been doing in-person events for a long, long time at Buffini. And I actually picked his brain on how do I organize and rent the venues and what do we do for food and how do we set it up? And you were a big help to me, James, to get started. So I appreciate you out there in Texas. Thank you. So if you're thinking about doing something like this, you can call upon us and I'd be happy to help you. You know, you want to run something in a different market or through a different brand. This is all about sharing. And so I want to make sure that you're set up for success. And I'd be more than happy to help you or even be a guest if you wanted me to be at your event. All right. Online networking, right? So this is obviously case in point. We're here. These online networking events, as much as I cannot stand most of them, if you're in a format where you get to know people.
Oh, I need to go get our egg white bites.
It's a great opportunity to get to know people. Keep doing them, stay consistent, and even start your own in little subgroups to get started. Now, I also want to talk about Facebook and online interactions with others. Okay, this is something that's really come up in my world quite a bit. And remember in the story when I first started out, I shared with you my frustrations in the beginning, right? What were my frustrations? Number one was I was annoyed that I wasn't even getting a phone call back when other agents in my market were being recommended. And I couldn't even get the chance to talk to someone. And so I want you to take a moment just to reflect on who you're promoting out there or who you're trying to give without any expectation in return, right? If there's something in you know, a region in Florida or a place in Texas, or maybe it's something in Arizona. How are you showing up for those that you want to be closest to you and who you want to network with? Right? Who's promoting you? Is it people that have actually physically done business with you? Or is it people that, you know, you've met at some event? Building your tribe is really important here, and finding a way to make sure that you're helping others to receive referrals and vice versa is really, really important. So part of this is building that network. Okay, so if you're Paula Cotton in Phoenix and you see something in your local market, because Paula's done this for me before, on a local Phoenix, I don't know if it was a mom's group or if it was her real estate brokerage or whatever it was for San Diego, she recommended me and got me connected with that agent. Now, unfortunately, it didn't work out, but all I can ask for is that you made that attempt and made the connection for me, right? And if I have 25 Paulas out there looking out for me in different markets, those referrals are not just from Paula. Paula added value to me without actually even sending me a referral, right? Because Paula's coworker had a referral coming inbound to San Diego. So it's think about how you're getting people connected and how you're making and receiving those referrals. The other thing is, you know, how are you going above and beyond to connect those people online? So if there's something in a market and I see someone that I have a preferred agent that I'd like to connect, am I publicly just putting a comment and say, hey, you should talk to this person? Or am I going and actually making a physical connection by picking up the phone and calling for them? Or creating a messaged group chat behind the scenes so all three of us connect in one conversation? Have you thought about the different ways that you can connect an agent to make sure that they get the deal? Right? I didn't think about that for a long time. I was just like, oh, I'll type my name in there and hopefully Jose in Miami will take my name in too. And maybe my 2 comments on a post. By the way, when San Diego gets a referral on a major group like Lab Coat Agents, how many people commented on it in the first 20 minutes? It's about 200. So it goes with comments. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to go chase that one, right? But if Jose goes behind the scenes and says you knows that person by chance, or goes behind the scenes and says, hey, you have to call Brad, or even makes a text message train where I can pick up the phone and call that person right away, 95% of the time, it's speed to lead, right? 95% of the time, if you can get on the phone and call that person, now it's not speed, I'm gonna type my name in, please call me. It's pick up the phone and call that referring agent to see if you can identify the referral, win them over before they get the 170, 100, 200 comments that come after. Right? So building that network, finding the ways to get to the referral first are super important in terms of communicating and getting those online referrals. All right, so we're gonna go a little bit deeper in the breakout sessions on that, learning how to network in different ways, different concepts. Quickly, I'm gonna go through one more concept with you that's also gonna be a question in our breakouts. What kind of content are you creating to send to your agent-to-agent referral network? Okay, how many of you, and you're not in trouble, how many of you send the newsletter that you send to your database, your regular database, to your agent-to-agent referral network? I see a couple hands like this, right?
I create something different for them.
Okay.
Like I send weird Philly. When I was in Boston, I did weird Boston things you didn't know about the area.
Awesome. And that's my next point is if you send me, and by the way, I get lots of emails by doing this networking. If you send me your most recent listing, it's like an immediate unsubscribe for me. I don't care what you're listing. I'm sorry. I just don't. Even if it's a really pretty house, I'm just not interested. But I got one just 2 days ago from an agent in the BNI network, and I unfortunately don't have it in front of me to give them praise. But they sent me their worst contractor experience ever. That was the headline of the email. I read it. I read the whole thing top to bottom. It was really cool. It gave me perspective on what they're doing and how I could learn from them as another agent in another market.
I do
Right?
calls, notes, and pop-bys, just, you know, the whole Buffini thing, even with the people that are in my BNI group, and they really appreciate it.
You have to find a way to add value. And if the value is there, people will continue to listen. If you've all noticed, I haven't spammed you with my newsletter, right? It hasn't been something that I've continually sent you that's my most recent production and success. I'm sending you things that are something of value that you might attend. It might be a connection for you with a byproduct of putting San Diego in there, right? So you have to find a way to give value first in your content and then ask second. Is that fair? So if you are sending your regular newsletter out, something is better than nothing. So don't stop what you're doing. Something is better than nothing. But what I would recommend is finding something. It can be just a short blurb or something going on. Actually, a comment in the BNI network just yesterday gave me my idea for my next newsletter out to agent. And it had to do with what do you do when another BNI member lists their property with somebody else? And I've got a great talking point on that and what we've done to be successful. And it just resulted in another $4 million in sales for us just because we let it go. So, sorry, I almost ended the meeting on you. That would have been awkward. Okay, so those are the three main topics. So how do you identify the agent-to-agent database? How do you network with it? And how do you create content so that you can deliver something of value time and time again? All right. So Jose Fernandez out of Miami is going to help me out here. We're going to do some breakout rooms if everyone is ready. And here's how I want it to go. Number one is pick your leader who's going to keep everybody on track. Real quick, you can just point to someone if that works, right? Doesn't have to be anything crazy. It's not profound. Number two is we're going to go around real quick. You're going to have like 30 seconds maximum to announce yourself, where you're from, and like a one-liner about you. Don't go into a long narrative. You got to make it quick. Okay. Number three is we're going to address our first question. And the first question has to do with what is the one source that you're going to do to either start your database or add to your agent-to-agent database? What are you going to do and commit to add? And let's talk about the different sources that all of you are looking at. I get it. BNI is a really clear example right here, and most of you are probably going to want to say that. But let's talk about the different ideas that you might have of how you can add more agents to your database and share around the room. Jose, you're my timer over there. Thank you, Jose, for helping me out today. Jose Fernandez out of Miami. What kind of timeline do we have on our first breakout room? What do you think?
I'm going to say it about 10 minutes.
Okay. We'll give you about 10 minutes to get acquainted. Maybe this first one, can we add on like 5? Is that okay? Just so we can do our introductions.
Okay.
And the first one we'll do like 10, 15 minutes. We're going to do some randomized breakout rooms, and you'll hop into these subgroups, introduce yourself, and then let's get through the first question, and we'll bring you back into the main room after we're done. Everybody ready? All right. Jose, whenever you're ready, buddy.
Perfect. Hey, Brett. So,
did you get these last two? Did you get Caitlin and Deborah in the rooms?
Do you guys got a request to join, Deborah and Caitlin? You muted. And Mary.
There we go.
Okay. And Mary assigned to room 1. Okay. There
you
go.
Good?
The only reason why I say 10 is I wasn't sure if you were going to come back and then immediately send everybody out. So I figure I'll leave more time for the other rooms or something. So, and I think
I just don't want to be too firm on it. So we got 1032 to 4245 or so. And then we would have another 10 to 15 on each of the ladder. So why don't you bring them back at like 1047, 1040, no. Yeah, like 1045, 1046, somewhere in there.
Now, let me ask you a question. So here, so when I do the close all rooms, does it give, okay, hold on, somebody else is, let me just add that person to.
Just admit her and then push her out to a room.
Now, where is it that I do time left when I do close out all rooms? Because it didn't give me that option at the beginning.
So you can set the time up front normally, or you can go into the breakout room tab again, and you can click close all rooms.
And when I click that, it will give a time to them, like a minute left or something?
Yeah, I think it counts down from like 60 seconds.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to do 10:45. I'm sorry. Yeah, 10:45, you turn 1:45. No, awesome. I mean, it's great. We had 80 people, 81.
Yeah. That's good. I want to break 100, but 81's fantastic. So go ahead if you want. If you want to pop into different rooms, you can, and just list. I like audit it, or I might say a comment just so you can get familiar. Maybe pick one that doesn't have another Miami agent.
Yeah.
And then just keep your eye on the breakout room. I'll try to do it as well, because you have to physically assign someone to a room as they pop in.
Okay, perfect.
If a new one admits, okay?
Perfect. I'll do that. Awesome. So let me go. I'm going to start from bottom to, in case you're going from down to 7, I'm going from 7 up.
Tony Baroni in the house. The big agent.
I saw that, yeah.
It was James Sharp. I'm gonna go.
Do you know Carlos Gutierrez from Miami too?
I know him, yeah.
Okay.
Don't be threatened. You're fine.
No. I'm saying more for you from people going because I know he's a big networker. So
yeah, he's a big networker for sure.
Yeah, you want to? No, listen, trust me.
Actually, I'm gonna go pop in there. Go say hi.
Where is it that I go into the room?
So if you just over the room 1 to the very far right where the number is, you can click join.
Okay, perfect. Bye.
All right, see you, buddy.
Okay, bye.
And one of the best things about that is I've had 8 people I've taught sell my listings. It's like a pretty cool thing when that can happen. So I'm going to expand on that even more so. Thanks.
I can jump in. Carlos Gutierrez, Miami, Florida. And I was the founder of our chapter. I got locked out of another chapter that shut down because we kept losing members. At that point, BNI was 50% of my business, so I had to keep it going. So we started a new one, which was a full-time job for about 2 months. And that was, we launched that in 2011, and we're still going very strong. So I'm a huge BNI proponent. A little bit of real estate here in Miami. I was the past president of the Miami Association of Realtors with 50,000 plus realtors. So I'm not surprised we have several Miami agents on this call. We're everywhere. And as far as networking and referrals go, I have had a few people find me, and I've found a few people through BNI Connect. I tried visiting, I visited 2 or 3 chapters in Manhattan because just like Gina said, they're a feeder market. And I don't remember the other question. What we would do to add value is just reputation. They feel comfortable referring me, and I figure out a way to vet them and feel comfortable referring them. So otherwise, a lot of the networking is from NAR, very active at the national level, at the state level in Florida. So I meet other realtors and try and stay in touch through our mutual endeavors and leadership in that aspect. So that's it for me.
I can go next. I'm Lexi Gladman. I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. So I service the whole Tri-County area down here. I got into BNI last January, so I've been in a little over a year. I competed with about 30 realtors for my spot. I know RC is very competitive, so not sure if y'all had a similar experience, but it was super awesome to be selected out of that many people. I had some stiff competition, so pretty proud of that. But as far as referrals, I am with Keller Williams here in Charleston. So I have that network behind me that I've used in the past for referrals. I also use social media a lot. So I'm pretty active on there. I followed some of y'all already just from being on this call, but I'm just really active on social media. So I try to find people who look like they have a similar business to me. I know that it's super important who we refer out. So I try to go and make sure they have a good website set up and stuff like that. I'm a little picky with who I send referrals to, but I just think it's important that they have, an equally as great experience. So I find a lot of people through social media as well. And then of course, BNI Connect. I try to make relationships on there too. I just sent out my first agent referral newsletter this past month, and it's very different than my database one. So it's very centric to Charleston. So it's like, one of the examples is a perfect weekend visit to Charleston. Like, here's where you should stay. Here's where you should eat. Here's a few activities you should do. Things like that, just based around our area. And then a few stats about our market in general, but no listings or anything like that. So I try to really tailor it to what you guys might want to see about my area.
I'll go next. Amanda Ferreira, Coldwell Banker, Realty in Columbia, South Carolina. We served Jessica Luther, which is the other one on the call, and I serve the Columbia and surrounding areas. And I've been in BNI for about 1.5 years now. And it's been very beneficial. The relationships that I've built through my BNI circle, I always remind them that we can refer out to other areas of the country with BNI as well. I was already starting to build my network of other realtors around the country. Very beneficial to continue to build. I cannot wait to go back in person. Columbia area in South Carolina, as you know, Lexi, is starting to open up a little bit. It's starting to get a little bit more back to normal, which is appreciated because we need normal, we need expression, and we need to be able to network. So that's part of the business. So very excited about that. What I bring value to BNI, I think, is the relationship aspect. This is a relationship business, and I think it should continue to be. These iBuyer and stuff, we have to remind them that they're really not looking out for the client. So we continue to remind them that, and I think that's where I bring value. And I think that was all the questions. Jessica, your turn.
Sure, I will piggyback. You saw a glimpse of me looking really stupid, but I exist. It is my camera. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to give up and just buy a separate one to connect to it. But anyway, yes. So I am Jessica Luther. I am Amanda and I are business partners. I am based out of Columbia, South Carolina. Some of the surrounding towns include Irmo, Chapin, Lexington, Blythewood. So if you hear people mention those areas, that's our territory. One of the main draws in our area is Lake Murray. So we do have a lot of transplants coming in from other states, and many times they want to be on or near the lake. And Lake Murray is the big one here that has a lot of recreation, boating, skiing, restaurants on the water, things like that. So that is a big draw in our area. As far as agent to agent networking, this is my first of these
meetings. I am building a new chapter right now, so we are just getting started. We just chartered at the beginning of this year. So I am hoping to actually build that skill through this. I have a lot to learn.
Thank you for organizing this. It's been the last one I attended was very helpful, and I appreciate it for one.
I'm glad everybody's enjoying it. And you all know who I am, San Diego, California. I started this with this intent, right? Get networked with agents across the country and do whatever I can to send business, connect people, and and do whatever I can to also receive business as a byproduct. So San Diego's just named the #1 booming market in the country. It is ridiculous how many people are moving out and how many people are moving in, all happening at once. Our average list price to sale price ratio is over 110% right now. It is, I believe our market's gone up 20 to 25% in the last 4 months. It has been absolutely insane, and it's still continuing. So if you know anyone that's looking to get into our market before it continues to go up, send them our way. I'm BNI live and die. So I've been in our chapter for 4.5 years, but super focused on our chapter, which produces quite a bit of business for us. We are the #1 referring party in the chapter. And then also the agent to agent, we do a significant number of deals from agent to agent referrals, outbound and inbound. So that's kind of my deal. #1 for me is, I just took it away from Carlos, is I need to get into some other associations. If you're doing NAR and getting a network there, I need to add one more piece.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to see you in November. I'll be there for the conference, and we could grab a coffee, a drink, lunch, whatever we can.
Awesome, love it.
Definitely want to know of more conferences coming up too, if you have information for that, because we want to definitely hit them up this year.
So traditionally we've done, kind of piggybacked on either coaching programs or Keller Williams events, just because that's. You're all back. Welcome back. Everybody get a chance to introduce themselves into the smaller breakout rooms? Everything going well?
Yeah, it was great. Thank you.
Awesome. So hopefully you figured out one source to add where you're going to identify either a brand new source like BNI, or my big one was National Association of Realtors Networking, adding one more place to network and add people to your database. So #2 is talking a little bit more about networking, right? How are you going to implement new strategies in networking in person, online events, Facebook, Instagram, BNI Connect, whatever the connections are? What can you do to add more networking and commit to it for the upcoming year? Okay. This also brought up the discussion, which I love, is how are you helping others to receive referrals online, even if it doesn't directly benefit you? Okay, how can you help someone in this group maybe get their next referral from an online group or have a connection? This would be a great time to talk about that as well. So the question is, what will you commit to in the upcoming year to network more with agents across the country? Jose, I think our intent is to break out into brand new rooms so you get to meet some new people. So again, real quick introduction, probably about 10, 12 minutes in the next room, and we'll see you back here in 10 to 15.
Could you repeat the question before we go?
Sure. And we'll try and write it up for you in a broadcast. But the question is, what one thing for networking will you implement in the next 12 months? For agent to agent referrals? Phrase in a different way. Is that good?
Yeah, Brad, I also posted on the chat, so if anybody forget, it's on the chat, and I'm going to get you guys into the room now.
Awesome. See you guys in a few. Don't fight it, Sam. You're going to a room. There you go.
Okay, so I was only able to be in one room. They had good conversation, so I don't know how many rooms you got into it.
I'm just doing one.
Okay. I think eight to 10 people is great. So.
Yep.
And
when you did close all rooms, did it do it immediately, or was there a 60-second timer?
60 seconds timer.
Yeah. It didn't notify me like it normally does, where I'd see it as a pop-up.
I can broadcast a message when there's like 2 minutes left. I can just put it on the broadcast.
Do that if you would, if you can remember.
Yeah, 2 minutes left. Now, this lady, Greta, she's the one that put that Google Docs. I think, let me see if it opens.
I don't really want her to control a Google Doc roster on this.
Yeah.
And not everybody's going to fill this out. Yeah. It's a great idea for future. And I love people when they're signing up, but I've got to get it ahead of actually being in the room. This works for her small group of like 5 to 10 people. With 100 people, it's just, you're going to get 25% adoption, if that.
No, yeah. And just wanted to let you know, so she posted it in case, because I know she threw it there. So I figured that.
I don't care if she does, but it's not going to be, I'll make a comment about it towards the end.
Okay.
That, we'll do our best to send the chat, but
remember before we leave that we had to say the chat, because I think last time I forgot to do it.
Yeah. Well, it automatically saves to my computer.
It does? Okay. No, I had to, and everybody can do it, they just have to click the 3 dots and they just do save chat. So
yeah, they won't.
And there was something else. So this one, I'll leave it until like 1:05, which means that we'll come back, and the other one will go from 11, for you it's 11:05. The other one will go for like 11:10 to 11:25. And then you need, how many minutes you need? 5 minutes?
It's good. I'd like a little bit of time. So even if we cut, it might even be okay to cut the last one a little short.
Yeah, okay. So we'll do the last, this one 15, the other one 10. And then if you want to pick 3 people to share a hash or something, or.
Yeah, I'd like to do kind of a, who has a referral session.
Yeah, of course.
Which with this many people might have quite a few.
Yeah.
And then just close it out. I should probably get a quote ready real quick. I didn't do that.
The quote: never leave for the end of the meeting to think about the quote. Never leave for the end of the meeting to think about what quote you put.
I do it. I always do it that way. I'm always doing it on the spot when the speakers are going or whatever. I'll just do an Ivan Meisner quote because it's easy.
By the way, the recent, do you know I don't know if you got the emails about the BNI US conference?
I saw something about it. I haven't done anything about it.
I don't think they've done that before, so I probably think it's the first time they do it. So
yeah.
And then you're gonna announce the next one, no?
Yes. What do we decide on for that? I have it on my calendar.
May. Let me see. May 13. Second Thursday.
Got it. Okay, I'll do that. All right, I'm gonna go pop in one of these.
Okay, perfect. See you in a bit. Bye.
Yeah.
Referral, and I have started the AM cards to the Northern California agents as well, and have had good response and started dialogue. And those cards, I used to use send out cards, but AM, their system works better for me. But it's started dialogue, so.
Wonderful. Carlos.
I hate to say the same thing that Laura said, but that is actually, I started to do the same. I got a little overwhelmed with some of the nuances of scheduling and visiting other chapters. I had the wrong approach in the beginning is, the bigger chapter, the better, the higher chance I'll get a referral. It's actually not the case because they're so tight on time that it's really hard to get somebody to hear what you're saying and understand what they're saying and make that kind of connection. So I will continue to do that. I'll just look for different chapters, and I hired a virtual assistant to start scheduling me, but that didn't work out. So I'm gonna have to take it back over. But that's it. That's definitely the move I'm gonna make.
Great. Colleen.
So Colleen McFerrin, I'm with Pacific Horizons, BNI. I'm at Compass, and I'm in San Francisco in the Bay Area. And I have been in business since 2003, full-time agent, and have a team. And my team is 4 Bridges. So I'm a Buffini member. And so I do network with BNI at Buffini, and that's been very helpful. I'm in another networking group for a class we're all taking together. That's cross country. And then, but the cards, and that's a Buffini thing too, but sending cards to the specific agents, I've been doing that so far this year. And it's a really nice way to build the relationship. And then the other thing I was going to say is, I reach out to BNI, other people in BNI chapters to do a one-to-one with them to learn about their business, because I have people referring. So this is great, but also they need to know people. So I always vet before I refer. So I connect up with those people and build that relationship that way. I schedule my day. I schedule time each week for specifically for one-to-one and that kind of investigation.
Great. Tony.
Hey guys, Tony Baroni in Tampa Bay, Florida. We also have an expansion office in Orlando, service the whole area and everywhere in between. So one strategy I did when the pandemic hit was I just started teaching on Zoom, and all various topics. I did 75 Zooms last year, and that has really been awesome. Yeah, 75. So it kind of became almost a full-time job, but I was used to traveling several times a year teaching. And so as people asked me, I said, sure, I'll talk about that. And I didn't have to leave my house. I didn't have to get on a plane. We did just under 100 agent referrals last year. So it works, and we just keep adding more value. Right now, we're in the midst of creating a lot of stuff that we needed as a team, and we're gonna launch that out to the marketplace. Of anyone that needs it, they can actually get the information as well. So things like how to get 5-star reviews and the systems around that and things like that we're creating right now. So that's going to be my next, keep teaching and then creating some products that people can decide to take part in if they want.
So for those of you that don't know Tony, Tony's a master in reviews and referrals. So over 1,000 reviews across platforms in 2,000 now. Yeah, up your game.
Wow.
He's in the coursework for Bold and Keller Williams, and amazing stuff. So if you're bringing that to market and sharing that, Tony, we'd love to have a piece of it.
Yeah, thank you, Brad. Appreciate you creating this group very much.
That's awesome. How about Jeff?
So I'm Jeff in the Chicagoland area. I've been with BNI for actually about 5 years now. This is my second group. I inherited a much better one because it was closer, larger, and way more active. A couple of things that I'm doing is visiting other BNI networking opportunities, the speed networking like Brad does, but specifically to the regional ones, as well as in the local ones. So I'll kind of pick and choose, folks that I want to follow up and have one-to-ones with. And the other thing I want to take better advantage of is within EXP Realty, the brokers that I'm a part of, there's a tool called Workplace, which is Facebook product. So all of our agents across the country and so forth get to, stay in touch there for referrals and stuff. So it's a good place to get started for all these different specialty groups. If you're, focusing on seniors, or if you're focusing on commercial or whatever you might have an interest in. I think I'm going to do a little bit more within Workplace.
Jeff, what's your last name?
My last name is Morris.
Thanks.
Great. Maureen.
Maureen Ilanowski with Keller Williams in Westfield. And I haven't done much with agent to agent, to be honest, like marketing wise. And I do AM cards, but I've never used my AM cards for that purpose. So I'm really learning today. I'm with my chapter in BNI for 10 years, and I'm a single agent. So I need to do more of that. And I'm learning a lot of ideas, and I really like the one we're big into vision boards and inviting other agents to participate in that. Someone had said that in the last one, and I thought that's a great one for, because we do that so often and it's a fun thing to do. So that and some book clubs, but I really haven't done much in terms of actually seeking other agents. Other agents have, go after me and ask me to about referrals, but I haven't really done much of that. So I need to hear this today. So thank you all.
Awesome. Is it okay if I go and then we'll let Brad go too?
Well, we don't want to let Brad go. Come on.
Of course we do. My name is Brooke Terhune. I am in Santa Rosa, California, serving the beautiful Sonoma County wine country. So I've been in BNI 11 years, a realtor for 16. Some of the things for networking that I would add that I've been doing is we have a local, and a few of you are familiar faces, we have a local Bay Area group that is inspired off a spinoff of this, because we refer a lot within our the greater San Francisco Bay Area. And just how are you calls when the pandemic hit? I went through BNISFBay.com, clicked on every chapter, called every realtor and just said, how are you? How is it going? If I can support you in any way, please let me know. So just very simple, how are you calls. Some agents called me back, some didn't, totally fine either way. So just like I said, just picking up the phone and saying, how are you? And then some of that led to one-to-ones, et cetera. How can we help each other? I think just starting with the very basic, liking each other's Facebook pages, and commenting on them, being engaged in it. We see each other's things that we post so that we can interact, get to know each other easier in a way that doesn't take as much time, but just actually liking each other's Facebook pages, social media, things like that might be helpful just to start. I'm committing to doing a virtual wine tasting event with all the local Bay Area realtors who want to do it, because there's lots of wineries right now who will send out small bottles and they will host a tasting. So that was my thing that popped in my mind that I will commit to, even though saying it out loud makes me a little scared to commit to doing it, but I will do it. So anyway, how about you, Brad?
No, I'm just kidding. So Brad, Seaman, San Diego. I'm sure you all heard my introduction earlier. I've been in BNI for about 5 years and just focused on the BNI world and adding to it. And I'm going to take the easy one off the table. Our goal has been to get to, originally it was 100, then it was 1,000. Our database now is over 4,000 agents in BNI across the country, and continuing just to grow wide as well as deep, right? We don't want to just have this wide network. So networking wise, my excitement is getting off of Zoom, although I don't think it's going to entirely go away, but getting in person again and throwing events again. Tony, for instance, has spoken at one of our events in the past. I love getting the face-to-face and 50 to 100 people in a room and really networking and seeing people eye to eye. So as that permits, that will be my one thing for 2021 is get a couple of those on the books and start seeing people in person again.
Awesome. Any other ideas pop up while other people were talking? I think we have like a minute left, I saw.
Tony, what's your number one source of agent-to-agent referrals?
Teaching.
Okay.
Interesting.
Is that through the BOLD program, Tony?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Is that because you're a BOLD instructor or otherwise?
No, I'm not an instructor. They just asked me to share how I got so many reviews. I think someone put it out there that I had a lot of reviews. So they interviewed me and then I went through and told them how we did it. And then they put it in that class. And then from there, it's kind of spun off. But I've been teaching for years on various topics and I've always enjoyed teaching myself, and it just works for me pretty well to get business from it naturally. And, that's kind of how it happened, Jeff.
Great.
Tom, you're muted again.
All right, I have a quick question for everybody. How long do you think this seller's market is going to go? Months, year, 2 years? Good question. Answer.
In our area, it's been a strong market for so long. I think it's just going to continue.
Nothing continues ad infinitum, so there's gonna be a top.
There's always a winner. There's always a winner. Doesn't matter the market.
I think we'll get a little more supply when the vaccine is widely available and people feel more comfortable putting their homes on the market and having people walk through them.
Yeah, talking to a lot of sellers, they're waiting. They're waiting till then. Yeah.
We need a bunch of sellers here.
Well, if
there's
you
no
haven't been to a
supply.
buyer's market, well, hold on to your seats. Some of you have, I know.
It's tough for buyers right now, that's for sure.
Oh, it's
29 offers yesterday on one house.
Good to see you. So it would be cool. I don't know, James, if you've already done something, but like something like this with a Texas group of agents.
Read my mind, girl. Read my
Okay.
mind. Yep.
I love the ideas that are spurring out of this. Everybody doing well so far? Yeah? All right, perfect. So we're gonna do one quick shorter breakout, probably about 10 minutes. So we're gonna pop back out into one more. I've had some amazing ahas coming out of the groups that I've jumped into. The third one's gonna relate to content. You know, we talked about, are you sending out your regular newsletter that goes to your database out to your agent database, or what are you sending them? And what kind of ideas can we bring out from that? What can you commit to right now to send out to your agent database moving forward? Maybe in the next month, maybe in the next 3 months, 12 months, whatever it is, what can you commit to right now? And I have a little bonus question on top of that. How can you utilize your agent-to-agent partners that you meet here today to add content and value to that newsletter or touch that you'll be sending out to the agent or agent database? Is that clear? What will you commit to for content, and how will you utilize your agent-to-agent partners to add value to that content? All right, Jose, do your thing.
Okay, so we do 10 minutes. So I would say like 11, 16, and then you have the rest of the time.
Cool.
Perfect. Okay. Emma, did you get a group to join or not? You muted.
Yeah, we were all in the same group last time. I was hoping to meet somebody different.
Hey, how you doing? Sorry about that. I'm just fitting.
I'm trying to reassign you to a group.
That's okay. I need to hop off anyway, so I'll just come back. Well, if you have a recording, I'll listen to the recording. Are you going to send out the recording to everyone?
Well, the recording doesn't go for the breakout room, so.
Well, I mean for the original part, this early part. I'll just hop off because I actually need to make some calls and stuff. So, all right, thank you.
Okay. Brad, for some reason, I did the recreate, but it supposedly sent back people to the same rooms. Let me see. That's what this lady said.
Oh, well.
Let me see.
They don't have to reintroduce themselves, so we're good.
Yeah, I know I did recreate, but maybe when I changed the amount of rooms, that's why probably.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We'll pop into a different one. Oh yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
It was a good room that I was in, room 1.
Well, they continue talking, and then they have like 5-6 more minutes. So I think I did recreate and I guess when I went to change back the room, it didn't give me the option. So
no worries. We do what we can.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you in a few.
Okay, perfect. Bye.
Recently, I did from a Boston agent that was like, we're lucky to have you as a referral partner. And it was all the, St. Patrick's Day related stuff. And the one thing is, my grandmother passed away probably a month ago or so. And she actually reached out as an agent from, Boston and said, saw the news on Facebook. I'm so sorry. I was like, wow, that was one extra step. And that just really personalized it. And I sent her a message and I said, thank you so much for sending that. You didn't even have to do that. But connecting to people not only on Facebook and social media is huge, but that one extra step really was impactful.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you say like basically breaking the medium in which you got the information and getting more personal with it.
Yeah.
Like picking up the phone, sending a letter, doing something that you know about and exceeding the expectation, right?
Yeah, exactly.
A lady in the first breakout room that we had, she was saying that she bought a bunch of mail openers where you can put your business card in it. And she sends that to agents. And she said, literally, like they'll break over time and they'll call her to say, hey, can I get another one? And she does that just to be top of mind. And I thought that was a very good strategy.
So we're in terms of gifts, I'll share. I reward the referral first. So if somebody sends me a referral, I send them a little gift card, or I send them at least a thank you note just for sending the referral without any action. Once the property either gets signed as a listing, which happened yesterday for us, or goes under contract as a buyer, we send them a custom Yeti with their branding on it, not mine.
Oh, that's cool.
And the coolest part about it is that I don't say where it came from.
What do you mean?
So when we ship it to them, they get this Yeti package on their doorstep with no note from me.
Oh, I love that.
And they go, guess what the first thing is that they do?
They post like, I got this Yeti.
They post it online, and I sit like a creeper in the corner and watch all the people go, oh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh. And then at the very end, I go, you're welcome. And it's not quite that.
I might start commenting on your post now and just say you're welcome to people.
Yeah.
Brad, do you still have people moving into California? They're not all leaving California?
Faster than they're moving out.
Yeah. To San Diego, they are. That's true.
San Diego is unreal right now. Unreal. I was saying in another one of the breakout groups, we've had 20 to 25% appreciation on our pricing in the last 4 months. The news channels haven't caught up yet, but they're going to be talking about it here very soon. And I think one came out yesterday and said we were the #1 appreciation market.
Wow. We're right there with you. Prices of like a property that could have sold, actually, we were just looking at, statistics and everything, could have sold for $400,000 or $500,000 is now selling for $700,000. And you got to put another 200 into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you all are talking about is what I've been thinking to send and just haven't, because I'm thinking, do people really want it? But I won't know unless I ask or send it. Market update about like Orange County, like so that you keep me top of mind and you know what's going on here.
For agent to agent or in your own database?
Agent to agent.
That's a document. We send that to our clients, but we also send that to other agents just to kind of let them know how crazy our market is and median home prices and that kind of thing. Because a lot of times it's about affordability, and someone, Kirsten may not know that the median home price in our area is $350,000. She may have somebody who wants to invest in the area. So we do use our market report as our tool, our monthly touch.
Brad, what would make it not
my preference on that? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was asking what would make you not unsubscribe. That's your attention.
I have a short fuse when it comes to that stuff. So my preference would be for Paula is to do something anecdotal to still get that message across. So if you told me a story about how you helped someone, but the pricing was higher and they were the next one to buy it, I'd be more apt to read it than if you put a graphic that told me what your average sales price and percentage increase, et cetera. Right? So same content, just shifted in a way that it's interesting and it would keep my attention through the whole thing.
What you just said was essentially success stories from this book, like monthly success stories.
Yep. Yeah, and it's not, I don't like it when agents send me like all their success and how many solds they did. And like the proof of production, I don't really care about. It can be there, but at the bottom, it's more, I love the, what can I learn from you? Like Tony Baroni is on a different call and he's sent me some stuff that's really cool. I've seen some stuff that's like tracing the referral. So they've used the BNI principle to say, okay, they trace their referral 4 stages back. And every time they get a referral from that train, they call every level above it. So got a referral, closed escrow, then they call the person that referred that person, then they call the person that referred them to that person, and they go all the way back to the very beginning and let them know that even though they're not actively on this referral, they're still a part of their business. I thought that was pretty cool. That's a piece of content that on a video or an explanation or a success story that I'd be excited.
Yeah, definitely. I like that too. I think it really connects the person to the area more than anything. So, heading into the main room.
Nice meeting everybody.
Brad, is your chapter rock star or are you a rock star?
All of the above.
Do you sing or play?
I do not sing. It is nasty.
I do.
If you
I
have
do. That's why I want. That's really why I want to know. Are we getting together in a band? That's what.
Are you singing to your clients on their birthday though?
Not some. No.
I am going to connect you with Delinda Crampton out of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
We're back. We're back. How'd everybody do? Was it good?
Awesome.
Very good.
All right. I thought that was amazing. Thank you all for participating in it. I took some great takeaways from it. I've got a few minutes allotted. Did anyone have like a wow, oh my gosh, my life has changed takeaway from their breakout room?
I need a VA to do my virtual stuff.
Virtual assistant. Okay. What else?
I do not have a wow from the breakout room, but I have a wow that I didn't get an opportunity to say yet. May I say it?
Sure.
With regard to social media, we've got Facebook and various groups on Facebook, and we've got Nextdoor over here. I would imagine most people do. I post anytime I see somebody looking for somebody that's in my group, I make a post and I recommend the person in my group. 9 times out of 10, they get the business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not calling these people. Sure, I probably should. I don't always have their phone number, but the post that I make is so detailed about the person that I'm recommending and what my experience is with them that 9 times out of 10, they're getting the business. And yesterday I got a very difficult one for an attorney, a family law attorney, who helps people in situations when their children are in the wrong place or wrong things are happening. And that's a very difficult referral to get, especially from a stranger. And they went and called based on the high recommendation, the detailed things that I was able to say about this particular attorney. So just posting on Facebook saying, hey, my guy's great is not enough. But giving them real information that they can sink their teeth into has value.
That's great. I love it. One, and a carry on onto that, one of the things that we talked about in the last breakout room was kind of transcending the medium of which you originally received the message. So someone had gotten a sympathy card or an empathy card from losing her grandmother, right? And someone saw that on Facebook and picked up a card and sent them a note in the mail after meeting them in something like this or another agent that they knew. Changing the medium or going into more detail, as Robin suggested, is pretty incredible in my opinion. Having that added layer and changing from what you originally learned the information from. Who else has an aha? That exciting, huh? Everyone is just chomping at the bit to share what they learned.
I don't know if I should share your secret strategy, Brad, but I thought that was genius. The
Which
Yeti
one?
Your secret Yeti cooler.
Oh, I can share that. That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, so Brad sends when he gets he rewards the referral for the behavior, so a thank you card or some gift card, and then when it moves into escrow, I think, or whatever next determined point in the process, he sends them a Yeti cooler with their branding on it, not his, but he doesn't say where it came from. There's no identification of him. So of course that person then posted on social media or something, I got this gift, don't know who it's from. And then he lets comments go through, and then eventually he says, you're welcome.
Ooh, that's smart.
Stealthy. So that happened by accident, actually, where we were trying to drop ship Yetis. And they're just, by the way, it's not a full cooler. It's a Yeti branded, but it's branded to, the key here is it's branded to the agent that referred the business to me, not my own brand. And by the way, they walk around with them, they use them all the time, and their office mates go, oh my gosh, where'd you get that? And the coolest part about it is I sent one thinking that a thank you note would follow it. And they just went, where did this come from? This is really cool. And they posted it online. And so that's how it started. And so now they're just confused. And I just set a timer for myself to follow up and make sure that at some point I announce who it was. And if I see their Facebook post, then I'll just wait creepily in the corner until I feel like it's appropriate to share that I sent it. So anyways, that's a little one.
Hey Brad, how do you grab their logo? Just offline?
Yep. Or I'll call their assistant, or we work out how do we get the information and then just pop it onto a Yeti.
What if you never hear anything from them? Do you tell them?
Yeah, eventually. If I don't see anything or hear it, I'll eventually reach out. It's normally within a week of I know it arriving, I'm going to make some communication. So
is Yeti spelled Y-E-T-T-I?
Really?
One eye.
Y-E-T-I. I only say really because I'm like a fanatic about Yetis.
And where do you order personalized Yetis?
On Yeti.com.
Yeti.com.
Super
Okay.
easy.
Thanks.
Yeti.com.
All right. So just a few minutes left. I wanted to give an opportunity, anybody that's in the room that might have a referral, an outbound referral that they're looking to place. We've heard a couple so far, one for St. Louis. Who are you looking to place right now that either might be in the room or we can help you find that connection if they're not?
I have a referral for somebody in Indianapolis. It'll be a listing.
That's amazing. We're in Indianapolis.
In Geist something. Hold on, let me look. They're moving here and they're gonna have to sell their house.
That's great.
The Geist Fishers area.
Sarah. All right. Who else?
I have a referral for Lake Lure, North Carolina for land.
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite hear you.
Lake Lure, North Carolina. Hold on. All right, is this better?
Not really, but you can shout at us.
I think she
Okay.
said Lake Merritt, Indiana.
No. No, Lake Lure, North Carolina.
You might want to put it in the chat there.
Yeah, put it in the chat because I couldn't hear what lake it was.
Lure, L-U-R-E.
Okay.
I have one. Oh, go ahead.
It's where Dirty Dancing was filmed.
Exactly.
I have one for Belton, Texas, or Salado, Texas, and I might be butchering how I say that. Terhune in Sonoma County.
Anybody else?
Burlington, Massachusetts buyer.
I can hook you up with somebody from BNI.
Awesome.
There's a couple of people off the top of my head that I know of.
We are in Burlington. This is Marissa with the Pressy Group. So if you want to,
there you go.
In the chat, that would be great. I can't see who's talking to me, but let's go.
Tucker.
I didn't realize you guys were in Burlington.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like 10 minutes away from my home.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
All right. Anybody else?
I have one. I need a agent in Roseville, California or Natomas, California.
That would be me, Janet.
All right, Laura. You'll go up there. Okay.
It's 5 minutes from my house.
Oh.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, let's chat.
Okay.
This is amazing. I love this. Any more? All right. So if you're not a part of the BNI Facebook group, another great way for you to post it up there, get recommendations. We always try and connect you, even if we can't find that specific person. Remember, BNI is not in all small markets. So if you put it out there and you don't get an immediate response, it's either that there's not a BNI chapter there, or we can also help you with our network, getting you connected to that person. So,
where did you say you posted at?
I'm sorry?
Where did you say you posted at? What group? Or
the BNI Facebook group. So it's look up BNI Real Estate Referral Network on Facebook, and you can invite yourself after asking a couple of questions, and we will admit you into the group.
Laura, I have a referral for you as well. So reach out to me. Okay. Tom Nash at kw.com.
That's for Laura Eklund. Perfect.
Thank you.
A couple things coming up. So we do have our next scheduled mastermind. So everybody had a good time today and want to keep up the spirit of this on May 13th. May 13th at the same time, 10 a.m. Pacific, will be our next follow-up mastermind session. And hopefully many of you can join us. It's great to have the diversity, people coming and going. So if you can make it, please show up. Similar format. I'll see what we can do about content for next month and bring something a little bit different to the table. And hopefully all of you can make it there. We'll send out an email here very shortly to all of you so that you can sign up right away and get on that list for the next Zoom call.
Will that have the link to the Google Sheet for us to put in our contact information as well?
Yep, so there is a Google Sheet link in here. Greta, thank you so much for putting that together. If we can all get in there, fantastic. In a larger group like this, I would love for everybody to do it. We will send out the chat, and Greta, let's coordinate. If we get enough people on there, maybe we can send a spreadsheet instead. And we're gonna work to find a new portal so that we have an easier way for all of you to get your contact information in there before the meeting starts, so that we're not behind and just trying to pick up the scraps, if you will.
So Brad, would we be able to maybe post that spreadsheet on the Facebook page, you know, and then direct some of the members to it so they can fill it out too, that people may not have been on this?
So again, it's all about adoption, and it's all about access and how spammed you want to get.
Thank you.
So there's reasons why I don't just readily make an entire list available to everyone. If you show up to these things, my goal is to connect you with other agents that are on here. But ultimately, if I send out 4,000 names and emails, it would be pretty messy. So just keep that in mind. And I'm happy to collect the information, but I'm not going to share it with everybody every time that we fill it out, if you will. Questions, concerns? No, all good?
I have ways to search that in BNI Connect. If anybody really wants to know all the realtors, we can find them.
Right.
Yeah, that's
how we get spammed from India.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
Well, wow, we appreciate you, Brad, for putting all this together. Man,
this is great.
Brad.
Thanks,
Brad, for this, seriously.
Well, thank
Wow.
you all. And I have to
Thank
thank you to Jose Fernandez, who has put these on with me time and time again. He's running the show behind the scenes. So let's give a big thank
Thanks, Jose.
Thanks, Jose.
If it's okay with you, I would like to end on time and leave you all with a quote.
Thank you.
Before I do that, please, if you have not put your information in the chat, do that before you sign off. And you feel free to stick around if you want to catch up with me after the call. So my quote is an Ivan Meisner quote. We're going to go just so simple with Ivan. First, you have to be visible in the community. You have to get out there and connect with people. It's not called net sitting or net eating. It's called networking. You have to work at it. All right. Have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly, and we'll look forward to seeing you next month.
Thank
Good
you.
job, Brad.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Good to see everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
That was good. Good job with that. It's not easy
Wow.
around those breakout rooms.
Yeah, but they were a good size. Like they were a good size to
Perfect.
meet a different group of people and have a good discussion and not be so overwhelming.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was way good. And I had all ladies in my group, so good job, Jose. Did it. Both times. I was like, woohoo.
Hey, Brad, you want to stop the recordings in case James says something inappropriate about the